Wow, I've forgotten to unmute my mic. So, hello once again. Let's do that one more time. Let's not screw up any further. My name is Professor Tarzan, of course, your caster for today. We are doing some PMCO Scrims, official Scrims for the Europe scene today. Of course, some of you might have seen me for the UK PMCO already. So we're here to do a little bit more. This will be a very interesting period from now towards the end of June. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, we will have some official PMCO Scrims. We are also doing some PMPL Scrims at the same time. So, but for the Europe one, it will be me and the very wonderful Maxman30 to do quite a few of these on these Tuesdays and Wednesdays for you. We have a lot of teams from all these European regions, right? UK, France, Germany, even Turkey, and Europe wildcard. So all these teams put into this scenario to train against each other, and we will see more and more of them like as time goes on. Today we have 16 teams, and of course I need to understand and learn more about them this coming period, because this is a very interesting phase for these teams to, you know, sometimes they get a new name, right? Or they may just get new players. So new chemistry, new team dynamics, a lot of new training, new chemistry, you name it, is going to be really, really exciting. We have 16 teams for today. Let's go through them one by one. We have New Cycle, Conqueror UK, Pen Most Wanted, CrtlAltDelete, Royal Knights, NGG, UltimaNecat, 777 Esports, xteam, Seven Sins, Heroes, NERA, Execution UK, Tes Team, Team Night Target, and last but not least, we have Entropiq. So these are the 16 teams that we're going to have today. We will have 4 games. We start with Erangel, then we'll have Miramar, Sanok, then we're going back to Erangel. So take some getting used to, both me and you, everyone, and the production. So bear with us as we try to you know, run through these and get used to the grind. And we have some delay, of course, when it comes to just the stream itself, so people don't really stream snipe, and but we will need to find how these things work as we go as well. So if we have fans in the chat, don't be scared to, you know, put your support in. If you know some names of the players, do share them on, and we will find out when we have more of these action coming on soon. I'm going to quickly grab some info from the officials it will be smoother and smoother. I guarantee you that. Yep, so this is the period to adjust for me, for everyone, and more importantly for these teams. So they test new drop spots, etc. They learn about each other's drop spots as well. Okay, form tactics. So this is a really, really important aspect of the game, right, guys? Knowing how you play, studying how each other play, and come up with tactics that way is a very volatile, is a very adaptive environment, and competitive PUBG is not just about getting the gun skills and stuff. That, you know what, is given. Right? Good comms, good gun skills, and it's about being even better. You know, putting the respective work in getting the results, and getting rewarded for putting those homework in, getting them done, studying all it goes. Like, have a database, right? Put everything down, put down notes, and then come up with new plans. Train accordingly, come back, test it again, and then as we slowly build these in the coming few months, we may get to see them fracking really, really hard, performing really, really well in the next split of the PMCO. So yeah, I'm going to quickly chill for a bit and ask how everyone is doing, because of course we get to interact a little bit. I'll try to keep my eye on the stream a little bit as well, but that's only for between games. I'll try to focus on it, and we will have 3 more minutes until it starts, so we're just gonna let me quickly go into this stream, you know, and see how everyone's doing. Let's see if we can find people that we already know, casters, maybe players, and have a look. We've got a few in the chat already. Not a lot for now, and but yes, obviously someone picked up that there was a no mic earlier, and this is now all fixed, so I do apologize for that, and I will hopefully only make that mistakes once, and chill. We've got it. Yeah, it's all sorted now, and we're just going to wait for these players to get into that plane, and we'll have that game 1 with 64 players, 16 teams. And let's talk about some of these teams, you know, at least those that I know. A lot of teams coming from the UK scene. Of course, we have Conqueror UK, we have Pen Most Wanted from my... Of course, I know these players quite well, this team, and so Prodigy Esports Nation, they were very close to making to PMCO. And then we also have Most Wanted from the 7th seed. Okay, so it's number 7 from PMCO UK, the last split. And basically, the players from Most Wanted kind of integrated into Prodigy Esports Nation, and they have now a team with talents everywhere, some original players from Prodigy Esports Nation as well, now testing new things. And so that is something that I know they're still testing things. They don't have all the players they want, and but you know what, let's get on with this, and we will have this game 1. Let's head over to this game screen. We have to adjust it a little bit for now, but we will have it sorted. Let's bring ourselves over to the screen, and I'm going to make it look nice and slick in a matter of seconds. Don't you worry, it will come through. And there we go, the brilliant game screen that we like to see. And this is our game 1 for this PMCO Europe Scrim, with the playing path going through Minas Generalis all the way to that trailer park. You know what, I like trailer park because it's new. No one's really going to contest it, and that is definitely one way to, you know, play this game, make something different. Yeah, we talked about Oasis as well as a good part of the map that no one really touched on that part, on that north part of the map, and we will see a few of these teams dropping already. We have the side of EL dropping all the way to Puerto Paraíso. We have the Royal Knights over at Impala as well. Pen Most Wanted going for a bit of a split between Los Leones and La Bendita. We also have Night Target heading towards the similar position, and we will have that Phase 1 circle going to that northeastern side of the map. Right in here we have RE. Let me get used to these clan tags as well. RE, we have them in Picardo alongside another team with Conqueror. Might be name of that team, or CrtlAltDelete. We just need to get used to the number of the the team slots as well, and it seems like we won't have all the players we want, with a good number of trios as well. So 14 teams and 52 players at the moment. And we also have NR around Crater Fields at the moment. Nika taking that El Pozo drop, so maybe NR can form a bit of formation, trying to pinch all these players in El Pozo. xteam going for that Montenegro drop. Then we also have NGG pretty central to the zone. This makes this early phase a little bit more interesting, because some of these players are dropping in the south part of that map, but we have some early action right here. TS against the duo. Against this duo of CrtlAltDelete, and we'll just straight up delete BZ maybe. There's still one chance, but I think Fratelli is a bit too far to support, and with that punch, that will be TES taking. It's not even RE, I'm just getting confused by the clan tags. We will get these clarifications as we go, because this literally just day one. Some teams are still trying to test things out, so with some trial members, so we all try to understand each other and give us a little bit of leeway when it comes to stuff like that. So CrtlAltDelete, or I just call them CAD maybe. Hope to see more of these team and more players on this team maybe in the rest of today's scrim. So Fratelli is down to a solo, not scared to push back into this red building right here, which is, I'm a bit skeptical, right? Like, there is definitely a way to play solo, and trying to provide a lot of footsteps in a city like Picardo when you're alone is definitely one way. Trying to take a 1v4, and that will be him losing some more HP across from that casino side. But you know what? Given that all those information, you probably deserve to die right there. So that is CrtlAltDelete deleted from the first game of this scrim. They will go out at 14th place, and we should just head back to Impala with the full team of Royal Knights in here. But looks like we've got some more clash around this La Bandita area. Omen from Pen Most Wanted has lost his life against a trio of the Heroes. So Heroes will be continuing as a trio, of course, but then that will be the same case for Pen Most Wanted. Down to trio as well. If they clash around this La Bandita side, it will be a 3v3. Of course, not quite in the circle, or even if it is, pretty quite on that southern edge right there. So maybe they want to go for a wider rotation and all that. They're right here, pretty close to Kid right now. Kid from Pen Most Wanted there. IGL of this team will have that patience and maneuver. The information passed over to the side of Pen Most Wanted. Maybe Omen did his bit of work, although he lost his life, and that will be Kid slowly pushing in solo, trying to take this one kill. The support and cover fire is not close enough, so that is a 1-for-1 between these teams. Pen Most Wanted now a trio against the duo of the Heroes. And let's talk about xteam as well. We've seen them fragging pretty hard recently in some PMCO scrims, pro scrims, PMPL scrims, as well as some tournaments. So this team can definitely show us a little bit of what the progress has been for this play, for this game, for this split. Of course, some of them still carrying a different clan tag. We see Beth for Mercy actually carrying the Unicorns of Love clan tag, and or team tag, I should say, not clan. That's a little bit of a different idea. Clan, organizations, teams, you name it, can get a bit confusing sometimes, but Unicorns of Love, of course, are PMPL Europe West team, and we will see them in mid-May when that time comes, and we will also get to see them scrimming against each other, or still hosted by the very lovelies Starladder. And of course, back to this Phase 1 circle, we have W4T is the name, with a good split between Cruzelval with the side of Tamco holding a more center position. We also have Danoka alongside Conqueror UK controlling the Hacienda del Patron and San Martin area, and then we have the, of course, congestion of teams more on the southern end. Teams do respect each other, seems like, at this current phase, but we can see positions held around that bowl. Now held by Pen Most Wanted. Destiny close to there as well. NGG rotated away from there, but TES still in Picardo, needing to go into a more central position, but they do have the circle for now, so there's no rush maybe at this moment. See also 2 teams rotating along the eastern main road to maybe get a different path in, and with that playing path as well, a lot of teams get to find different rotation paths. The side of NGG will pass on some info. Itachi is showing his footsteps now. Pulling up on them is the full team of Ben Most Wanted. Will try to find another knock in. Kid made it work again. The support fire is from across. Graveyard split by the side of NGG, stopping the thirst from coming in. Farah is, of course, another new addition to this team. A very strong player historically, being the MVP of multiple tournaments from his insane fragging power. So being a trio right now, they need to make that work. And we have a little bit of a situation here still around La Bandita. Hero will lose another one maybe. The one last standing right now. NGG trying to support in, and that will be them losing that one. Pen Most Wanted taking the 3rd kill of the game, trying to pull up in here, although a little bit clump. They were able to use that little bit of cover and that relative high ground on the south side to make some work count, and Hero will go out at 13th place as Night Tiger take the 2nd kill. And that is a very, very strong work that we see here at the moment. We can see Itachi actually still not bled out yet, and a little bit of a confusing one. Is this NGG or Destiny? Of course, we also have Destiny as one of the teams that should be playing these scrims, but probably Beast is just being a trial player, so just trying to confuse me even further. Itachi, tick-tock, goes the clock and his life, and that is NGG down to 2 players. And now Graveyard Church is contested between these 2 teams. Pen Most Wanted with the numbers advantage, 3v2. December on the outskirts. Beast maybe buying some time, but Kit is now pushing in. Farah coming in for support, and that is so close. Kit almost lost his life. He's very, very low. The support can come in to maybe finish what's been started. Siren slightly behind, maybe getting a side angle to take this down. Kit needs to heal though with some free fire in that door. That is them guiding and pushing side of NGG's Beast onto that watchtower, and the Overwatch needs to be so perfect from December to make a difference right now. But we can also see another team, Tes Team, now trying to join this 3rd party and will spray down December. Keep an eye on that kill feed, friend, and that would actually give Pen Most Wanted a numbers advantage even further. Beast got pushed up to that roof, and that is Kid finding his 3rd kill of the game, I believe. Pen Most Wanted holding it strong at the moment, but Tes Team will hold a little bit of a side angle, can maybe rotate and pinch around this Graveyard Church. And but you know what? That is that for now, until our beautiful spectators bring us back there. You know what? They would just do that straight away, Tes Team, with a good knock, and that will be a 4v2 for now. But with the hard covers and some time, maybe Pen Most Wanted will get that reset. Tes Team still all on this western side. There's more high ground that they can use. They can scout further and take the other parts of Graveyard. Just looking at that position of the zone right now, they can maybe out-rotate the enemy team at the moment and start, scouting forward. This is something that I like to talk about a lot when I'm coaching and being an analyst, is you need to know the meaning of a spot when you claim it. If it's on the edge, you need to know that probably means that you have to move in the next zone, and you need to start keeping an eye on the enemies that you have some info on, as well as planning forward. So those plans A, B, C are all out there with effective comms, and the team can work in sync and take the best out of the position. TES now slowly rotating away, and we can see Alien actually take a relative gatekeeping position, but Pen Most Wanted might have just rotated away now, and we may need to wait for the screen to render in. Not quite sure whether they're still there. And of course we have some beautiful airdrops that we all love Mark 14 in that crate can give a lot of strength, both short and long range. So Pen Most Wanted pulled away from there and may enter from the southeastern edge around Junkyard. It's not an easy part of the map to rotate through, because we know from that junction around Hacienda del Patron, so all that ground, should I say, between Cruz del Val and Junkyard can be very volatile. And that space there, if you know how to play it, know how to use the ridgeline, know how to split properly, that would be a very hard area to get into. And we will actually have the next circle around that part of the map, further testing the skills of these teams in this area that I already talked about. Cruz del Val is the main city in here. Of course, we have some split compounds all around, but it will be a mainly end circle that relies on these ridge lines, dips, all these covers that are not buildings. And this is the good type of test, is a good start for PMCO EU, almost said UK because I've done it too many times. The PMCO Europe scrims for these players to test their map knowledge. So here we have Execution UK on their move right now. Below Malice, we also have Insania in here. So Insania previously the IGL of Sons of Odin, and Sons of Odin, a team that made it to the finals in the PMCO UK, and now with a little bit of a different roster, maybe in another organization, possibly playing this trio, this game alongside 10 other teams still, and now pulling pretty close to W14. The full team of W40 trying to hold this very strong position, to be fair, but it relies on them having a good split. I would also recommend sending one or two to the northern parts of this to get more info across the street. There's another set of compounds that has relative low ground across, as we can see that compound already now claimed by the full team of Conqueror UK. And Conqueror UK, we've seen some of these names. I think it's Denoka previously in KI1 Esports. Maybe this is just a new name and a new roster for this team. Gyro, definitely seen them in PMCO UK as well. And NERA is a team that I want to learn more about as well. Now, coming in from this northern part, this is a good part of the map, just because of how you can work in bit by bit, what we call progressive rotation, make short stops, scout forward, move further, whilst leaving one or two maybe to guard those wide rotations. And we have Tes Team now joining this party around this junction of Hacienda del Patron. Can maybe pinch the side of XE here. Execution UK holding that position. The trio needs to rotate out, knowing that this position will be breached very soon, and they need to just find the next ridge line and start smoking up those cars, and we will have the next circle soon. It will center over the previous one, pushing a lot of these teams out of their comfort in the compounds. Of course, we still have one by Entropiq now holding on that northwestern edge, and the Pen Most Wanted went for a really wide rotation on that northern side. We still need to come through. Farah and Kit now tanking the blue a little bit. They need to go through maybe the whole city of Cruz del Val and slowly scout their way in. Not an easy part of the map. A lot of those strong dips are now outside of the faithful circle, and we'll have the clock kicking down, but not before we see some fights between Execution. They will turn this fight onto a 3v3, but for how long? Malice will get knocked as well. The retribution kill coming through. The trade is the important skill in this game. TES take one back as they bring it to a 3v2 in this position, but they will have to further rotate in, so that will be Kawa in this beautiful bus. Of course, I don't know how we feel about bus. Definitely a bit better than 3 seaters on Erangel, due to the East to drive this, you know, a bit more stable, a bit more heavy, a bit more durable as they proceed on the rotation from that south side. Ooh, and the blue zone is painful, and that is where we saw actually 2 out of the last 3 players from Pen Most Wanted getting knocked, maybe too far for the last player to revive him as well, and that is Sauron, the last one standing. The team has 4 kills so far, but has lost 1 player early and then 2 more to the blue zone, and this is him here needing to play some good solo game. Not sure how possible that will be because they are pretty low on loot. Maybe it's down to them to adjust in these further Miramar games to know where they can get to, so that they get a little bit more resources. That's Pen Most Wanted out at 11th place, not before they gotten themselves 4 kills. And to be fair, Sauron with only 5 bandages, not easy to make it any further. Of course, Conqueror UK still here. And let's bring back to that point that I talked about earlier, right? The question is, what does it mean later if I take this compound or spot now? So they've got that hard cover, right? But now on that southern edge, and they're all in that compound. So with that, them shooting in there, trying to control, frag hard as well, you name it, they will do all that at the same time giving away a lot of info to other teams. So it gives the enemy some possibility and opportunity to rotate around them and reverse gatekeep them, because it's pretty much on that edge there. But you know what, let's bring ourselves back to the other edge, which is the southeastern edge. We have W40 needing to rotate out now. The side of Night Target might have just out-rotated them, both teams with some split. Tanic MVP is trying to hold that position down, and with a little bit of pincer formation, both teams trying to find the best wide and off angles right there with the opening knock by Tanker, and that will be another return knock coming from Hess, and we'll find the brilliant sight lines to take a double knock, but the trade is there from the top of the hill. Now they have to turn the tables. W40 will get another one. Is this a 1v1? It will be all down to the hands of these 2 players. Really low is Nancy got right now, using that Tommy gun, almost taken, and he does! Look at that beautiful play. With the HP disadvantage, he uses cover well with the brilliant peek and shoot. W40 lives for another day. Night Target, I believe, very close to making to PMPL in the Europe Wildcard PMCO. They will feel themselves the need to explore even more, to trade even harder, facing a team like W40. They did not make it work. It was so close though, but they would only get to do that in our next game. We have 3 more, and this circle is pretty brutal, huh? It will go back to the southwestern side with some dips, of course, only if you know how to play it. So you know what, dear viewers, look at that circle right there. It's still up there on the top right of the map. Based on your map knowledge, do you know exactly what dip is a good one? So these are the map knowledge that we like to talk about, and we will see a lot of fights on this just center zone, really. TS trying to rotate through, almost get taken down. Alice has already been knocked, and that is Andy just made it in as well. Multiple teams trying to rotate in at the same time. Kawa from Tes Team will also get knocked on rotation, and Beg for Mercy can maybe steal it away a little bit too late because Conqueror is there to still control, and that is some zone luck for sure. But you know what, they can't have it more than once, I don't think. Right? I talked about, what does it mean? I'm gonna repeat myself again. What does it mean if I get this spot? Yes, you are on edge, and then you have to move out. So it only makes it harder and harder for them to get out if they haven't planned that, and that is a mad OP with the madly, you know, abrupt and really, how should I say, brave peak, I should say. And speaking of brave, we have the side of UltimaNecat. I don't know. It's just doing my head in right now. That is the team's name with the clan tag NECAT. Oh, wait. UltimaNecat. Maybe is the name. I would need to speak to these players and get to know some of these teams as well with the new roster, but we'll just call them NECAT. And NECAT going for a really bold rotation and very bold revive as well, and will suffer more knocks. Nice here as well, also from the UK scene, now getting pushed to the side of W40. They are trying to maybe clear each other out on this eastern side before they have to make a way in. The side of Star slowly getting more info. A good 2-2 split, basically with Tamco as overlooked. Simba needs to bring the team in, need to start scouting maybe, but we will also have clash on the other side. The side of Entropiq finding a good knock onto NECAT. No teams are really in the circle at the moment, but we will first have some clash between the Royal Knights and W40. The 1-for-1 trade is there. You know what is the last one standing? Cypher! And that will be him gone. Save 420 maybe should be the name, and that is a very, very good time to make that move. You have to clear out your enemies that's sharing the same side of the map. If not, you get stabbed behind if you enter from the same side. So that is W40 actually making 2 good 4v4 so far. Conqueror, we did comment on the previous position and making it possibly hard for them to come in, but they did make a safe rotation out with that vehicle there. So that's a good one. That's a good one right now. We have 5 teams remaining. I think, you know what, in the actual PMCO or whatever tournament, we will have more teams at this phase of the game, but you know what, they just come in and want to frag, show each other what they can do. Of course, a lot of conservative and safe play are made possible only through adaptation, studying each other's drop spots, etc. So this is a good start. Such a pleasure to be here, guys, and not quite pleasurable when I still need to find out how to do multiple things, but we all get used to it, and we'll try to bring you the best that we can. The PMCO Talents Caster Tes is here to join you through this training journey of all these teams, and we are down to 14 players and 5 teams on this northern end, and I'm from NECAT trying to get a little bit more. He's the last one standing, and he will actually get a brilliant knock onto Entropiq. Will even take that flush, taking that 4 kill for the team, and he will continue to spray whilst he's prone. But the trade is finally here. The support from Entropiq bringing them to top 4. We've only got these 4 teams: W40, sort of Conqueror UK, xteam, and Entropiq. All teams that have shown potential, and we will have xteam taking the second kill. 2 kills, 2 players. Will they take a second place? The 2-2-2 may not be the case. It's not easy. They don't have the circle. The circle goes straight over to W40. The gods of PUBG has rewarded the team who has executed 2 very clean team fights, and we will have the NERA using his M24. Keep trying, buddy. That is a very strong weapon, but pretty close range right now, if you do ask me. And that is some xteam losing the life down to 3 teams, a 4 team for the side of W40 as well as Conqueror UK. So 4v4v2. The duo of Entropiq need to come further in, but you can already see the very split control coming from W40. This is the problem of this shift. It's very hard to get revives if any of your teammate get knocked. I'm talking about W40, and they need to know the absolute reasons behind the split, how to cover each other. Of course, the primary reason for this split is for them to increase the area of control in the circle. And as we can see, the side of Nancy gone being on duty on that northern side with first knock 1, the last one standing. The side of Entropiq is Darky. Oh, but that peek and shoot is beautiful. But that will be Nancy got with that split second off that cover, saving him with the cover fire from Tamco, making it work. W40 takes arguably the 10th kill, and they will face side of Conqueror UK for this 4v4. going to be W40 trying to make something work, pushing upon the side of Conqueror. Is a 1-for-1 right now. The ridgeline is there to support. Star is so strong with the Overwatch, stopping all of his teammates getting pushed. They need to know the absolute limits. Look at Conqueror getting pushed even further. And that is W40 with a beautiful Game 1 win over at Miramar. Woo! What can I say? What can I say? What a beautiful one to start today's scrims. And so weird. I'm not used to, you know, casting when there's daylight and you see the color of my face changing through the hours, but it's fine. It is what it is. I need to get over it, and we will have a good 10 minutes of a break up. But before I go, right, let's talk about something. First of all, we've only got 14 teams in that lobby, so some teams are missing out, but understandably it's not the time of day that some players can play, and this is a really good type of practice, especially with this production for these teams to start what I said, yeah? Starting to understand what each other are doing, put that database in, yeah, adapt straight away, especially for the Erangel game that we will have. We are pretty heavy on that classical map in the PUBG Mobile competitive scene, so more training is good. You can also even try to adjust in the same day to take a revenge on the same teams. And we'll go on to a little bit of a break. Let me bring my music back up. Don't know whether it's good enough for you guys, but you know what? Let me know what you think in the chat, and we'll go on a little bit of a break. We will have yes, a good amount of time before we go on to the next game, I believe, but I'll keep an eye on it for sure. And let's go on for a little bit of music, a little bit of a break time, and I'll see you all in game 2. Hello, hello. I guess we're back. I guess we are back. You know what? Can't wait for this, and just especially jungle channel action. Can't complain, and we will have actually fewer teams than we thought as well, and we will only have 13 teams and 50 players in this game too. So it's confirmed that, as you saw on the screen a bit earlier, it's the first time for me to see as well. You get to see some highlights, you get to see some stats between the games, and that is just really, really sick to see. And so yeah, we need to track some of the fragging power of these teams, particular star players that we get to see. With that playing path, I mean, it's Sandhawk. With that type of playing path, people can go anywhere they want. Of course, we have some interesting bits right here on that Northwestern Island. We have the side of Royal Knights as well as NR in that area. And I took that time just now to add a little bit of good info for you lot, which is in the descriptions of this stream. You will see all the ranking of these teams when it comes to the previous PMCO split. So you will see the PMCO region as well as the final rankings. Of course, if you're not finalist, you don't get to play these scrims, and that is the caliber that they set, and we will have a lot of these teams showing us what they can do. Again, of course, this fight is already starting. Simba losing his life early. This Camp Alpha clash will be between NR and the side of Royal Knights, and we have them, you know, just NERA is the name of the team, and I need to study a little bit more as well. I believe is a German team, but you know what, I put those notes in that description. I may fail to use them as well as I want as well, so we can see teams pretty much distributed everywhere. The center part, bootcamp area, not as congested, but of course we have it here, and on that south part of the map as well, another knock comes in, and that is, you know what, a 1-for-1 at the moment. So the side of NERA and Royal Knights we need to clash even further, and just hold on right there. Execution UK, Shoxy and Insania both played with Sons of Odin the last split, and they're now under Execution UK, finding so many kills earlier, and that is them putting a lot of pain into side of multiple teams. To be fair, as a CrtlAltDelete doing some work there, and Royal Knights will continue to suffer. Cable is the last one standing, not even standing, the last one driving as well, coming in to support a little bit too late, giving a lot of audio cues in that maneuver. Should probably happily take that 1 kill and move away and not take this 1v3. And that is him definitely getting punished for coming in when it was a little bit too late. Vehicle on film as well. That will be him facing the wrath of the NR squad with the door broken as well. He tries to do a little bit more. The barrel was not strong enough in this scenario against the team of NR. And also interesting to see what NGE can do here. Of course, a little bit of a rough start. Rough start last game, losing a few, choke between two teams over at Graveyard earlier. And now they're here in a pretty far bit, unlikely to get contested as they take that docks position. Night target now in the more western part of the map. This is Cam Bravo with a little bit of a split loot happening at the moment. We can see the side of xteam taking bootcamp for themselves, and around this part of the map we also have Pen Most Wanted slightly more towards Bognai, so to the north of Night Target. And how's everyone feeling? You know what? It's getting a lot warmer in the UK, at least for these 2 days, and get to feel a little bit of that, not even spring, we jump from winter straight into summer, feels like, and these few days of you know, warmth, sunshine, I'll definitely make the most out of it. Also, get way to spend it for sure, casting some PUBG. So hopefully everyone's having a good time. Conqueror here, or finding a very interesting spot to the south part of barn, and maybe they know how to use the spot to their advantage, but pretty interesting to see them clumped at the moment. And there's a lot of skill required in the early game where people don't see, that can lead to how teams want to split or set up some traps in a map like Sanhok. 4 km times 4 km, pretty small. You can basically go to anywhere unless you see the harshest playing path. And then knowing how to split, so when to jump, even meaning jumping earlier or floating in the over a city or over an area earlier, is really worth that practice and that time. Of course, you may not land the earliest, but you can land the safest, and these are all the skills that we want to see here. Of course, that plane path, we need to explore it even more, or have the best eyes to see when's jumping on that same team, and where they're jumping towards, to find out those really high level tactics and skills. Now let's have a look at this phase 2 circle that is about to pop. Looking at the map, we have a very empty north half of the map, to be fair. We have the team winning over Northwestern Island, taking out Royal Knights. We have NR coming through on that high hill there. But look at Paradise Resort, all those parts on the north not really being touched right now. So that could be a lot of free lead going into hands of Penn Most Wanted. And if teams want to rotate north as well, Night Target can maybe do that, but seems like they're just holding an eastern edge position now. The next bit of action is very likely to be around Corey, because we have 2 teams around there, Conqueror UK as well as the side of NECAT. We also have Execution UK coming in from the Lakawi part, and yes, and another one to the southeastern edge still needing to come in. And the NR definitely could rotate quicker, but you know what, I won't say that they're rotating slow, because who knows what other teams drop on that Northwestern Island. It's about testing trial and error, and never slip when it comes to scouting, and that is important here. Important in any game. Like, to be fair, if you want to see yourself as a tier 1 player just based off your gun skill, you can go and think about that again. I can tell you the answer is 100% no. Yes, that is given. If you can't frag, if you can't, shoot, if you don't have mechanics, just get out of tier 1 already. That's not what it takes. It's like just the basics. Is your comms, your map knowledge, your emotional control, all those things. I see a lot of people and a lot of players that I've met, like through the months up to a year or so now in this game, thinking that they have what it takes when they actually don't at that time, because of all these things. Being a terrible teammate, being a bad sport, thinking that rotations is just about knowing strong spots, but they don't think about shot stops, don't think about the plan Bs. You need to know all of that to make you the best. And we have NECAT here clashing against the Heroes. Heroes will be a trio still, and no worries, because they keep turning these fights into a 3v3 after getting an opening knock. And we have Shino here cooking that nade straight on the head of Peace. You know what? Just go back in a bit, guys. I think that nade bounced off his helmet. It looks like that, because there's nothing that it can really bounce off, and it looks like that's Peace going down anyway. And there's a beautiful return nade onto there by NECAT. I might be tripping there, guys. That might be the rock, and Malum. And you know what? They need to just slowly hold this on still. And Paramo trying to go for a side angle, really cheeky there maneuver, not giving more sounds by crawling to the side for an off angle is the thing that you have to do. But the sight lines, I should say the ridge lines, were not enough to provide that coverage, so that means Shino will be the last one standing for the Heroes, and they will slowly go down, and that is him getting a knock first, and will continue to pre-fire with that barrel, but will find himself dead. You know what? We've got third-party pressure. From across, we have NGG Itachi with a beautiful spray. And that is some quarry pressure on top to this East Painan Hill. And we always know how tricky it can be playing on that. You take a fight, very easy to get teams to sneak up on you from multiple sides. And even from long distance, if you are quite exposed like that. And that is NGG trying to make NECAT suffer a little bit further. Pen Most Wanted will not get the circle, but they should have all the loot they want in Paradise Resort. The full team can play healing game if they want, because it's not easy to enter this part of the circle. White rotations to the eastern side may be all choked by the side of Night Target and the side of Execution UK, which are still rotating through past the north part of Quarry. And then we also have, of course, boot camp pretty much held by xteam, and we have Entropiq there as well. So needing to keep finding the rotation pass in, threading the needle, and we have W40 Star. Is that just him? Or maybe there's more, but they are going for a bit of an interesting rotation, maybe through that northwestern island first, which may not be a problem depending on how they play it. Gonna quickly have a look on stream, guys, because you know what, I may have some small issues with the stream, etc., audio, so just checking it just to be safe. And but that might mean that I actually missed Peace from NECAT getting knocked the second time as they face the side of NGG. NGG is the PMCO Germany 8th seed, and shows a lot of promise, and seen them in the pro scene for quite a while now. So this is further training ground for them as they take their third kill, making NECAT a trio at the moment. A little bit of more southern edge contest now. Southern part, I should say, not so much the edge, I think. And Beast still carrying the Destiny tag. I'll give them a word. But you know what, if it went through with the officials, I shouldn't complain. But you know what, we all could use some, you know, good team formations. It's like wearing a different jersey when you're playing football, you know. And so yeah, that's that. And the camera is still on NECAT and NGG, both trying to find a different spot maybe. NECAT using the ridgelines a little bit to rotate to the other side of this mountain, but trailing them is Beast trying to stab them from the southeastern side. We'll continue to maneuver through different covers to find a different angle, but December will find another one, and that is him getting return actually. So that is NGG needing to take on this 3v2 right now. Last one standing on NECAT, of course. They've made it into placement point range, and we'll have 4 kills, so they can at least have 5 points in here. But with a lobby that only has 14 teams, I think they need to go even further. Of course, keep testing, keep trying, keep training, keep playing. Look at Beast, not scared to give some info, and we'll actually get the confirmation onto Malum. So it will be a 4v2 in a matter of seconds. That is Pen Most Wanted making it into boot camp, no problem on the northern side, and we'll need to continue to rotate through boot camp. But we can see xteam taking a very, very proactive rotation. They're out of boot camp, don't want to be looked at as they run out of that really steep hill on the south side. They will take the hill instead, have some great split to control the western half of this map. NECAT, the last two still need to face a push, and they will miss some bullets with the Vector. Look at the beautiful movements from the side of NGG to turn this into a 4v1. But you know what? The last guy is already gone, as he should, and NGG will take that brilliant control and wipe, almost a wipe on that south end, and will rotate through Painan Hill with no contest. Execution UK need to do the same as well, but through Quarry, and we will see the side of Entropiq, or actually sharing one of these outer compounds. Bootcamp, you know what, they could have moved a lot earlier, but this is NR showing the presence right now. Beautiful knock. The second one comes through. The third party pressure though from the south side. Night Target is there to farm. Both of these teams right here, NR and Entropiq, need to get a spot in, and we already have Night Target completely controlling this side of the map, and kind of explaining why the other team, being xteam, rotate out of this area earlier, because as the zone gets more and more congested, it becomes a lot harder to get out of these favorite spots by a lot of these teams. And you know what, Pen Most Wanted will get to feel that, trying to get some more shots in is Siren from the long range, finishing the dreams of Entropiq in this game. So we will only have 8 teams remaining. One more will go out and take 1 placement point, then we'll start to get more than 1 placement point from the 7th place finish and upwards. And we also see our Execution UK here finally rotating in now, sharing this compound with NGG right here. Opening knock by the side of Execution onto NGG, but another beautiful one. Malice with the 2-piece. So that forget about the other side we have on the north part, maybe putting some pressure onto Execution UK, so that will be NGG thanking them for that one. The crossing from Gaga actually just came through, but Malice is here to cross the road. He has crossed indeed, trying to put more support in with the Tommy gun, and beautiful pre-fire as well will confirm that kill. Really has to play there with the 2-piece once again. How many damage is this guy doing at the moment? But you know what, he pushed across himself and will get completely deleted by that move, and that is just, you know what, timing of it needs some support, but Shoxy were there to pick up, and Sania and Bilal will also come in, so the relative gatekeeping position is now held by the duo of NGG against the trio of Execution UK. So multiple interesting positions here. We can see xteam taking a game-winning position if they know how to split and how to control, and NGG will continue to fight this. Both of these teams have to move. This is the time to maybe think about healing strat. I know there's still many teams in here, but it's not easy to get in. Like, a late entrance to this type of circle basically means death, so they have to start planning for a little bit of healing game. And let's head back to bootcamp as well. 2 spots right in here, 4v2 in favor of Pen Most Wanted against NR, and I'm still trying to use a buggy in there. May be very useful for this type of circle, because they're on that northern edge, is very likely to shift away from them. Savvy, OP, trying to control this one, just trying to see who is king for bootcamp. And if you want to play that card, okay, but parked it in a way that you will not lose tire, and we will have Night Target first to clash with side of Conqueror UK on that eastern side. Well, the numbers advantage is on the side of Pen Most Wanted. They need to take other side and are there, and they're trying to take this win right now. The opening knock has come through, the last one standing, but the beautiful 2-piece by Matt OP in this position right here. But Omen is here to make it count, and that is the trade coming through. Pen Most Wanted live another day, making it to top 5, but the next rotation might be rough for them. The 4 team will be up still, though. Night Target wanting to control this further. Taker is not right now, but they will first clear out another team on this edge, and they will make it to top 4. Taker first knock maybe, bleeding out really slowly at the moment. Place your bet, guys. I'll put it on the xteam just based off their, I think it's a game-winning position from 2 phases ago. They know, right? They know what it means. They assess different strong positions, and they know which one give them more options. And I think teams should be heavily rewarded for that. I know the circle goes to them, but it's not that, guys. It's a position that is likely for the zone to go to you, if only if you take it early enough. But X Team here will need to first hold this down against Night Target, and that will be a 1-for-1 right now. And look at the split right here as well. Back for Mercy on his lonesome, trying to stop the rotation from Pen Most Wanted. The healing game needs to come through. Is knock after knock as players don't give it to the players. Need to start healing as Omen and Siren. That seems to be the game plan for them. Will likely take the 3rd place because both of the other teams up on the hill can really comfortably just wait this out. Just wait it out, and we can see how painful Zones 8 can be, and Siren probably need that first aid now or never. Got 6 first aids there. Omen can heal for a little bit longer, and I think let's carry this over to a tournament situation, right? For all these teams who are practicing basically from these tournaments, and they're only in here because they are in tournaments, and he stood up by mistake, and that is him losing his life. Let's find out whether that makes a difference. He got so many first aids, and that is them actually maybe losing a 2nd place because of that small mistake there. And Tika will be there to actually outlive South Bend Most Wanted. Mistake, they're 2 points of a difference, but you know what, still a good fight from all these teams, all trying to clear out some teams before they actually have to get in. And you know what, let me sit back up straight because need to know how this works. Hi, it's me again. So that's two games done, and we are going to have 2 more on Erangel back to back. So that bit of studying, implementing, and hunting down straight away will be very, very interesting to see. I want to see it, but of course, with only 14-15 teams other than 16, instead of 16, I should say, maybe a little bit harder to see all these teams in full action. It won't be as packed. They won't be tested to their limits as much, but not going to complain any further. These are the training grounds. All the consistency is a marathon through the months, and we'll see from now to the end of June. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, you will see some of these teams. So let me repeat that one more time. It's 4 regions, yeah? 5, I should say, yeah? It's all the European regions in PMCO. We have Europe wildcard, we have Germany, we have France, we have the UK, as well as Turkey. So we will see a lot of teams in here. Of course, some of them are off to the PMPL, so they will be playing the PMPL Scrims, and do join some of my fellow casters on another day. But for this PMCO Europe Scrims, you will have me, so yours truly and Maxman30 will do the most of these. So we have 2 games remaining. We'll go on to a bit of a break. We'll bring you back to watch these highlights, and we will see you all in the Green Hills of Erangel. Yeah, UltimaNecat should be the next one. You know what? I just messed up a little bit again, and my God, just need to get back into flow. You know, but I'm just talking about the standings, right? And how we also need to adjust some scenes as we practice. So from tomorrow, it'll be all smooth and nice, and you will be able to both see my face as well a bit of a game screen, or at least the standings. And currently, as you could see, or I should say earlier, a lot of close point separation so far, and we are going to have this game 3 started. We are heading back to Erangel right now, and you know what, back-to-back Erangel, can't complain about that, and that is pretty tight. Playing path from Milton Power to North Georgia Pool, pretty central path if you do ask me. And I know it makes it slightly harder for teams going to military base and Novo, that southern island, but you know what, if they want to go there, so many ways. They can just float to that northern coastline, that main road with a lot of vehicles, and that is the way to get in, no problem. Bada beep, bada boom. Okay, so now with this plane path, we get to see a lot, you know, a lot of teams drop spots. Although if they want to go for Verapia, Primoz, Quarry, a little bit harder, but for the rest of the map, basically they can see it. So this is one of the most generous plane path that we've seen, and we will see a little bit of potential clash early. In Yasnaya we have xteam and the Pen Most Wanted. Maybe they want to make an adjustment from that and just pull away if they want to avoid some early clash, but we already have some early action right here between Hero as well as Execution UK. Who would have thought? A little bit of early clash in this Watertown part of the map. We also have a little bit close to Rozok right now. Conqueror UK on top of the side of Tes Team, a 1-for-1 right now. Danoka living with this level of health, but that will be no longer, and that is them losing to pretty early with the punch to finish as well. Is a 1-for-2. Rest of the part of the map pretty open. I'm surprised to see Milton not claim right now. Farm as well untouched. Pachinki also not taken. So a lot of strong positions, very center of the map, will not be touched right now. Gatka split beautifully by NR right there. And executions are not really having the game that they want for now. I believe 2 of them are gone. Dennis is there to take another 1v1, but look at Hero. The trio is taking their 3rd kill right now. And this is the thing, right? Testing new drop spots. Like, just by the looks of it, I'll just boldly guess that this is Hero's drop spot. And Execution UK are just testing some things, and we could see how some experience, maybe difference in experience, have potentially caused some difference in here. But look at Pen Most Wanted as well. The split, the 2-2 split may not be in their favor, leaving themselves pinched in between the 4 players of xteam, a team that is now on top of the leaderboard for today's scrims, and they would definitely just find multiple angles, try to pinch this down. Pen Most Wanted lead to these 2 players buy time, and then for the other 2 to maybe get some angles to maybe clear out one side of this huge city of Yasnaya Polyana. But you know, maybe that is the plan for them to get to in their, you know, if they know the limits of their compounds, not using the 3rd person peek or just 3rd person peek too aggressively, they can buy time for the rest to pull some move. But otherwise, usually these are the results of players not floating when they can into a city like that, but we will find out maybe later in this game. Royal Knights back to the comfortable drop spot in PMCO UK as well in military base, and they don't get contested a lot, but we can see Necat now needing to take some fights right here, and that is them actually giving away from footsteps to Gyro to make his senses tingle, and that will be him actually First getting one knock, but will get finished. The support is here. Marlon is here to trade, and that will be a 1 for 0 in the matter of seconds. This is a compound, pretty new. It looks like a museum. What do you guys call this place? This is to the north western part of Shelter, and we can see Legend maybe trying to come into... Wait, what? They've lost 3. Legend is the last one standing, so Conqueror actually lost more than they wish, and is against multiple teams maybe. And we have CrtlAltDelete in here now, playing as a trio instead of the duo in game 1. Having that trigger discipline so far, and will actually let the last player of Conqueror UK go for now. So this is the thing. This is a tricky thing. We said bringing players in to support this. Deadly is holding this police station and will be facing the support coming in from the other duo of Pen Most Wanted. Siren keeping in check, stopping Deadly from getting peeking, I should say. Farah is getting knocked. He's actually knocked already and slowly losing his life. And but Siren with the overlook will slow down the thirst, but the bleed out will happen for Farah. So it's a 3v4 with Siren holding a more important spot right here. Need of 360 good awareness so that they can find buy time, but that will be Pen Most Wanted losing another one. So it is officially a 4v2 numbers advantage going over to xteam. Kid is here buying some time. They decide to come into support, but the angle is very hard to grab. Using this position here right now, and will be getting a 1 knock, but that won't be enough, and that is the finish. And that is them down to 1 player. Siren still in town. If he can use this time to dip out, that would be great when it comes to placement points, because no kills so far and not even in top 12 yet. But you know what? Let's head back to another part of the map. W40, the winner with so many kills in game 1, did not make it work in game 2 over at Sandhawk. And now in game 3, getting a better start. Entropiq, showing a little bit of that tendency to clump, and I mean, if you have this type of compound to use, and seems like the clean feed that I'm receiving has a small issue from time to time, so do bear with us. Your patience is much appreciated. So going back to clumping, right? So yes, of course, this is a compound that we can comfortably, you know, hold multiple players, but the escape strategy a little bit scary. If you know this compound and you've gone to Potato Hill up north, you can actually be seen. No matter how well you hide your cast, the render distance is so tricky. It's on that edge there, so you will be seen through the buildings, and that is why not only should you not clump sometimes so that you can maximize your control around that part of the map, but that compound in particular doesn't really allow you to play stealthy. But you know what? We have a pretty interesting one NGG wants to fight. They took that hill part to the south of those high grounds to the south of the apartments, but got a sweet rotation all around through school and trying to come back on a 1-2-1 split with a beautiful spray with the M416 by Beast, and we take 1 knock. The second knock comes through. They bought time. They baited them to peak, and they are now sending it in. Itachi will be overlooking from the other side, but Beast is already crashing in and will just take it. Clean fight by the side of NGG, and maybe they didn't even know it's a trio, but they just made it work anyway. The solo push was risky, but they got rewarded with that squad wipe, and now we are down to 13 teams. And Siren's still in Yasnaya Poliana, so xteam actually didn't bother to look for him after killing 3, and I think it's pretty wise in a way, yeah? Okay, in the tournament setting, if, let's say Pen Most Wanted is up on the leaderboard, they may want to just spend some time, you know, keep 1 at the spot where X team is taking now, leave 3 to end the last one so they can stop a team from getting further points. But do bear in mind that will take a lot of time because Yas9 is so huge, and all it requires is for the solo to have footstep discipline, not give away any of that, and so that will be them, leaving them there, and they will live another day. And those ones can still grab into placement point range, especially when we have W40 putting some pressure onto CrtlAltDelete. The team that started with only 3 players may already lose one here on the southeastern edge of this play zone. And this is a type of area that a lot of players like, and for very, very good reason. This plateau to the north side of the farm have access to multiple sites. If you know how to split around it, the control is immense. It also allows you to scout and get info before the next rotation, because you know what, it can shift away from that area, but with that high ground, with the access to so many areas, they can very easily make the next scout to guarantee a safer next phase. CrtlAltDelete though, grab that revive, and Fritella with some brilliant sprays, almost not won by W40, but let's bring ourselves to this bit. A little bit of Gatka field action in here, and we have, should say in between Pochinki and Gatka field. A good knock by NERA onto Night Target. Night Target is actually a squad that are so close to make it into the PMPL UK West, and so they not sure whether they've changed roster. I need to follow that a little bit closer, but having Hisk knock around that position would be a little bit of a sticky situation. But let's watch the CAD fight against W40. For now, still in this position to the north part of farm, requiring them to, you know, shot stops, rotate away, get a smart rotation on top of the other person, and we can see some of Entropiq moving away from the previous compound, or now holding this set in between Pochinki as well as the Headshot Hills. NGG has lost December on rotation. Of course, they have those healthy 4 kills already this game with a bit of a split. Itachi trying to put Suppressify from one side with Beast more on that north part from Headshot Hills, maybe trying to get some more angles. But look at Hisk and Night Target controlling their pit of the fight just to the other side of this map, as we can see in that central zone right there, and multiple solos in this game so far. So very important to know how to strategically tank, when to stay stealth, which part they can move to, grab a little bit more loot maybe, and don't stream snipe. That is not one way, guys. But we may have that Headshot Hill finish with those compounds next to it in the middle. Pochinki is in play, a little bit of the school in play. Watertown is in play as well, so Hero may want to head back over there, betting on Northern Shift maybe. They took out 3 of Execution UK in there. Maybe going back there may give them that advantage, you know, and just waiting for these players to find a spot. And seems like NR have lost Mad OP from earlier, so this standoff is still continuing between themselves and the side of Night Target. But like we saw earlier, I know I screwed up a little bit. I've forgotten to unmute myself, but thanks to Willow. Good chat up there, giving me a little bit of a reminder. Ooh, I couldn't hear you, and he actually saved my life in there, so thank you, Willow. And I appreciate everyone who does that. And my Discord is just in my description there, I guess, or in my channel abouts, should we say, channel info. And we have Hisk actually trying to push away and end up going for a rotation out of the position. But we also see the South Hero actually going back to this Watertown position, but already in there to control Headshot Hills to punish all the teams rotating past is NGG. So that is Hero losing 1. Entropiq still in here. I mean, W40 has a good ridge line for them to work with, and they can slowly move their way through, but they can at least expand, you know, spread out horizontally so they can get more control and maybe catch out a guy like Legend from Conqueror UK who just sneak his way past. And there's no reason to really crash this compound unless you get a double knock, I think, and because it's just hard. It's just really hard. And this compound now held by Sans, and the full team of Entropiq after getting that one kill, you know, this compound very easy to get pinched. And look at a beautiful knock right there. The Mosin is the new sniper. I heard a lot of comments about it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And is it a good sniper? Have you guys tried it? I've heard the bullet drop is pretty insane. That means it's pretty crap. But you know what? Sans might be proving me wrong. Brilliant headshot onto W40, relieving some of that pressure, and they will need to find themselves the need to rotate. For W40 needs to get out of this position. They need to rotate round Entropiq. Entropiq still got a little bit of position, but like I always say, I've said it for the 4th time now, guys. Always think this is important knowledge. Okay, this is tier 1 mentality. When you hold a compound, although you may have a spot in the circle, you need to immediately think, what does it mean for the next phase if we are holding this spot now? If I'm Entropiq, I will send 1 or 2 scope into this center circle. But you know what? Hold that thought. We have NECAT clashing with for W40. They both want to enter from that wide rotation from the southwestern edge. It's such a quick sweep. Surgical removal of the NECAT by W40 when they clash on the southwestern side. But yeah, Entropiq should send 1 or 2 in there, keeping 1 or 2 in the same compound to maybe catch the late rotators, but they need to have a clear path into the center circle, preparing for the next phase. Seeing them maybe sending some players out there would be a good start. And we also have NR, you know, rotating around these area, getting pushed away by Night Target, backed into Pachinki. Now they are needing to rotate, and they will be on their way. Night Target holding these sets of compounds with a good overlook in the middle zone. They can actually dedicate to hold the spot for now, because every next bit of spots they may want to take are within the sight lines, and we still have xteam here using this spot to punish multiple teams. NR will not be able to get in without any pressure, and Beg for Mercy is just sending it. Let's not forget about the 16-second not capitalization window is how I call it. 10 seconds for the revive, 6 more for the first ace, only if you do it immediately. And look at the side of xteam knowing exactly how much time they can use to capitalize on this. A brilliant quick team swipe, team elimination of the NR squad. What a quick wipe there, you know, decisiveness and the support. You know what, I would prefer them to leave 1 to Overwatch, but full send, why not? And they just full sent it and get rewarded for that. So we are now within that 1 placement point range, and from this 8th place to 12th place, they will be able to hold those 1 point. If they can make it further, it goes up to 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, 8 points, then 10, 12, 15. Now a little bit of clash on this western side, relative high ground held by the trio of CrtlAltDelete, but they are under immense pressure. Raw Knight buying time in that low ground with some side fire coming in from Night Target on that southwestern edge. Dreaming is slowly bleeding out, and the trio may need to find that spot, establish some more smoke as a soft cover to grab their teammate up, and they need to start planning for the next one as well, because it's just so tricky. Really tricky to get out of this. We have Night Target watching them. We have Raw Knights down there, tricky as well, because another nade coming through. Raw Knights is shown. Dreaming trying to lay some more shots in. CIS 420 will be using those smokes to just protect the vehicles. They need to rotate out further, and the buggy is good for mobility only if you know how to maneuver around those big rocks. And look at this shift, giving the circle to NGG and xteam, the two teams that have been the most proactive in this circle, right? In the past two phases, to take a strong position, to open up the options for the later circles and later phases. What did I say about Entropiq? Yes, it's good. 2 to entry, 1 to stay back to catch white rotations. Dale to catch white rotations on the other one. Is a good 2-1-1 split. I can't disagree with that. And the Starboy will fall from 4 damage, and then we will have more pressure coming in. Look at NGG already having eyes onto night target, and that is the thing, right? Holding an edge compound, you already know what it means. So start planning 2 steps forward. That would be some really, really important advice. I do believe so myself, from yours truly. Royal Knight just kind of made it in. Starboy got revived after falling out of his vehicle, only to find his teammate. CIS getting knocked again, then getting knocked from the side as well. Starboy, the only one knocked, will become the only one standing now, and we have NGG trying to come in. Look at all the angles, all these sightlines upon each other. Beast is trying to get a side angle, will feel a little bit of shots from across these headshot valleys, and he needs to rotate further in. Will get one finish there, definitely. No, there's more in the smoke, and he will get to the next ridge. Beautiful spot there, using the pro maneuver as he's cooking the nade so he doesn't show. These are important ways to do this, and a beautiful nade will take them the 14th kill of this bloody game. What a brilliant showing of NGG team, the 8th seed I believe from the PMCO Germany. Also interesting to see how Watertown will be like. You know what, we've got multiple teams in there, we've got some solos coming in, going through some untouched territory in Rozhok as well, so those are some important placement points maybe. And look at the battle of the solos. Siren from Tes Most Wanted will take out Execution, and he will be in the circle for now, but he will get spot, and he will get finished at 5th place. Destiny taking the 15th kill of the game. So that's what I said, like, solos actually outliving. The first team losing 3 players, Pen Most Wanted and Execution UK, made it to 5th and 6th position. So 4 and 6 points respectively. Huge for tournaments. So these are all the practices, and I mean, it's also further pressure onto these teams, knowing that this is streamed by the officials. And we will have xteam here trying to punish Entropiq. They had the entry, they had the time to do that earlier, but they wait till now. The blue zone's closing, and Nightmare is there in position in a good dip to maybe further punish that. Dale is not right now. One has gone into the circle. Backfire needs to rotate even further. Will join Starkey 4 now, and that is xteam missing some opportunities now. Need to contest this entry spot by Backfire and Entropiq. It will be a clash on this western side. But NGG wants a piece of this as well, pushing over the other side of that hill. Will be finding sightlines. Itachi find a good one. Another one comes through with a tray coming from Backfire. NGG feeling 1 knock. Starkey the only one standing. The other ones will be bleeding out. So that is actually Entropiq gone at 4th place. Beautiful nade there, you know, and there's sort of CrtlAltDelete. Also made it all the way to top 3. And what, you know what, I always say, one game, you get a lesson out of every game. Based on the end zone, you know how crap you are in knowing how the map looks like. If you can't, for this type of circle, if you're tier 1, you can pinpoint exactly on the minimap to say, this dip is strong, that dip is strong. For this type of circle, think right now, if you play this game, if you're trying to be a competitive player, if you're grinding through the competitive ecosystem still, you need to be able to point at least 3 to 4 spots in this new circle to say these dips are strong. If you can't say it, you are not good enough yet. Okay, the bar is there, I made it clear, and this is for you to, you know, practice mindfully. In classics, if you have room cards, use it wisely. Then just use it to, you know, play some 1v1s to brush your ego, this and that. Look at me just trying to offend people right now by putting all these points in. But it's true, I'm not going to take that back. It's very, very important to know how, like, what type of work you need to put in like, with respect to your goal. And NGG here actually peaking a little bit far, and that is xteam actually completely removing basically the whole squad of NGG. As the screen glitched there a little bit, we will see xteam eliminating the strong team of NGG. But just think about it, this point separation is like 15 or something from 8th place, between 8th and 1st place, and just by placement points, kill points in that game by NGG, they will just go all the way up. That's how crazy it is. And of course, people just usually just say, oh, we need kills and this and that. That is crap. Just don't think about, oh, we need more kills. Okay, this is the thing. If you know how to control positions, if you know how to expand your control, if you know your power positions most, like, you can still hold the same spot. Now, 2 teams can hold the same spot, but if the quality is very different, then one can, you know, use it to farm, and the other one will just have absolutely no kills. As we see there on screen, pretty straightforward. xteam showing it again and again, and with the huge team win and taking out the lonely last weak player, unfortunately, of CAD, as they take that really strong win. xteam will continue to lead the leaderboards after that one. You know what, you can crap on me a little bit for getting slightly carried away by that point, but I think this is important. Like, everything's on screen. Like, it's 3v1 pretty much like sorted, and yeah, these are important mindsets. Yeah, how to train in these type of scrims, as well as in your so-called personal training time, is very, very important. Look at how every bit of control xteam did there. There's not one spot. They have an anchor spot for every split as they progress in through the past 3 phases. That's how they sweep out team after team after team. It can be very different. Like, find the same spot, everyone clumping in there. Won't get much, and that's how they've got, I believe, more than up to 12 or 13 kills in that game, and xteam continues to dominate. And we'll see more tomorrow, of course. Maybe, not sure whether they will be playing, but we will definitely have more teams playing, and we will take a short break before we head on to our last game. Irango again, you know what, maybe round 2 between a team like Execution UK and what's the other one? Think. What's the other one? Ugh, it hurts me. I can't think of it, but you know, there we go. Hero was the team that played as a trio and took out 3. Okay, by Execution UK. We also had the clash in yesterday between Pen Most Wanted and the winners of this game, xteam. So round 2 should be very, very spicy. Let's see how they do it. Let's go on a short break, and we will be back in around 10 minutes, I believe. And so I will see you all at around 6:15 CEST. Have a good break. I'm gonna go grab some water. Go outside if you've got nice weather like I have right here in the UK, in the East Midlands, and I'll see you all very, very shortly. Hey, welcome back. As you could hear, we've got the noisy boys in the lobby already. A little bit of a production showing us the game sounds already. So we're going to have this last game on Erangel very, very soon. Look at these standings that we just saw for a while before I put my face back on, right? xteam absolutely dominating right now at the first place with 63 points. Then we have New Cycle and NGG basically sharing second place, both with 35 points. Pen Most Wanted 8 points behind, so 27 points there. But look at the point separation from that point on was really, really close. Execution UK with 21 at 8th right now. So as a matter of one game, having a big win can swing them all the way to the top. And let's put something into perspective, guys. Yeah, you play against 15 other teams, so 16 teams fighting for usually just top 3. Top 3 makes it, or around top 4 makes it to PMPL. So I think that should be the standard set there for these teams who want to do better next split. And let's head over to the Green Hills of Erangel, because we will have this game 4 right now, right here, and we are going to have that playing path going from between Saverny and Stalber all the way to that western bridge. So once again, a pretty center playing path, but for the teams that we saw earlier that like going to Lipovka, Milta Power, they will need to adapt accordingly. Maybe take farm. Okay, take farm and Milta. That is where we saw some teams not trying to challenge in that game 3, so that can be the adaptation coming through. But of course, for the teams who likes going to Yasnaya, definitely round 2 for xteam, no hesitation there, we'll take that one. Entropiq also with some adaptation. Now going to the top right of the map, like Pen Most Wanted. Pen Most Wanted a little bit more clumped with a smaller split against a big split from Entropiq between all these compounds to the top right of the map. Execution UK will claim themselves Saverny, and then W40 will go for a more eastern drop spot right there, leaving xteam, the team that's fragging so hard right now, in Yasnaya alone. CrtlAltDelete, make that adaptation, and we'll take Pochinki with no contest and are going back to Gatka. We will have a very, very interesting phase 1 circle. To the southwestern part of the map, we will have a pretty hard shift, I should say, with up to 40% water in play. So that is going to change things up, adding more pressure to these teams a bit earlier. Of course, we only have 13 team in tonight's, not tonight, come on. So used to casting in the evenings, you know, and so yes, we have 13 teams only, with a few trios for sure, with Pen Most Wanted looting up Stalber at the moment. I think there's no one close to them, or if I am... There's not a type of color blindness, I think, and it seems like they are all orange or light brown. Need to go check my eyes, go to Specsavers. If you're from the UK, you understand what I'm saying. And so no contest in the round 2. Heroes will not be contested because Execution adapted and went to Saverny. So a team like Royal Knights as well, no contest, going back to military base, but the timing of this phase 1 rotation would be quite important. They can loot this up further, or just use this position to quickly go through that western bridge, entering the quarry area, which is pretty much the center in this phase 1 circle. We didn't hear that a lot, guys. Quarry being the center of phase 1 circle, and starting with that already make us know that is going to be pretty spicy. Well, NGG, the team, of course they went out at 3rd place, but you know what, it was enough to bring them to 2nd or 3rd place for today's scrims. So many kill points in that game, just bring them all the way back in one game. 15 kills, I believe, 3rd place, 25-point game. Imagine doing that 3 times, then you'd be in the 70s range already. And we have Conqueror UK still needing to go a bit further, because not the easiest one so far. Not the easy one so far for them. Losing some players early, etc. At that 8th place, 21 kills. And yes, need to see how they do it. And xteam, we talked about what they've done well. Yeah, they've done so many things well in the past few games. taking early fights and winning them, progressive rotations from the mid to late game, incredible splits and control at whichever side they decided to play. Talk about Conqueror UK as well, with the main players from KI1 Esports, a team that's fragging pretty hard. I think they were rank 1 in the PMCO UK group stage, but they were at 5th or 6th in the final. So once again, missing the chance to go to PMPL to represent the region in PMPL Europe West. And the heroes here, of course, not contested around Watertown. It makes me wonder, what's the usual way that they are going to play this when it's uncontested? Of course, with so much water in there, not many garage around it as well, so probably need to split across, maybe slowly closer to Rosop as well as Ruins to grab some of those cars. If not, you may end up in a situation like Execution UK, as you see too on the bike, but non-contested on that northern side, they will be able to grab something further down that main road from Saverny. And the trio of CrtlAltDelete just holding down Pochinki right now. I think pretty slow phase 1. Huge city, no contest, could give you a lot of loot. Just never forget about car spawns as one of the key resource. You feel ready to fight with full level 3? Nah, you need those cars. And we see W40 really religious to play around Lepovka. So they took that early jump to float towards the eastern side now in here to grab some more loot, but it won't be as comfortable as they think, because it took them some time to get here. Will also take them more time from this eastern side because of that southwestern phase 1 circle. Night Target, a team that we want to see more. Pretty strong through PMCO Europe wildcard, and not dominating yet today. And but like I said, other than those top 3, all of these other teams are just one big game away from taking top 3. And like I said, in many regions, top 3 goes to represent the region in PMPL. So that is the goal there. Try to get top 3 in every official scrim like this one that you get the chance to play. Pretty quiet phase 1 right now, and I'd like to believe that is due to adaptations. You know, oh, they're dropping with us, we'll go to a secondary drop spot. Secondary drop spot, I've seen them on stream, not really stream sniping, you know, almost a 15-minute delay, by the way, guys, between the players and the stream that you're watching right now. So they, of course, get to go back and watch a few to learn from the mistakes and also find out whether the secondary drop spots are contested. Maybe some of these teams are taking the 3rd drop spot, and those are all needed experimentation. But we will have this first crash right here. The strong team from NGG with the crazy fragging power will first as December knocked, and that is W40. The duo actually trying to hold that compound with them, and we will see more of these, a little bit of pressure from the side of NECAT as well onto multiple teams. So this is the time finally in the later phase of phase 1 where we see these teams clash. December slowly bleeding out still, and we can see W40 actually peak for that nade, but will not get punished for it. I spoke too soon. Beast is there to trade, and that is Itachi coming in for the support. Really timely. It's the battle of the supports. It's the battle of the Overwatch. It's the battle of the response. W40 one step later, sending in the 3rd player in that compound. Both of them still need to get into the phase 1 circle though. That is the Shelter compound. I should say the compound on the outskirts of Shelter on the northwestern side, still quite far from the circle, as you can see them still fighting. W40 struggling right now against the very strong team of NGG. And we talked about Roll Knight's position and how they could maybe take that bridge to come in earlier, and this is good use for them because they actually got out-rotated by many teams, but they can at least rely on the abundance of loot, and they will still be in the circle even if they don't move away from this military base island for phase 2. It will continue to go over to the southwestern side with a similar proportion of water in play. The center is around Quarry, and we have a congestion of teams over there. NR is in their night target in there as well. Entropiq holding the north part of Quarry with some wide rotation coming on through. Meanwhile, you see on our screen continuing to fight is W40 and NGG, but this is the last guy standing for W40, and NGG is ready to just wipe them out of the lobby. Taking the full squad wipe is NGG in that outside of compound still, and rotating past them is Pen most wanted team going for a stellar drop. Reparking the cars is Entropiq holding down the north part of Quarry. How do you guys like Quarry? I quite like it since they changed it. More loot, more terrains to use, can form tactical splits around it to control with that high ground around. Meanwhile, we see the side of CrtlAltDelete losing one, so the trio will be down to a duo. This is a little bit of a contest in Therapia. They will get pulled up by the South Conqueror UK, and Fratello, if he can land the most beautiful nade, they can get that kill point, but that might be a bit too far for them. But Dreaming will try a round 2 onto Danoka maybe, but they will restrain from it for now. You've got a spot in the circle if you've only got 2 players. Find a way to survive. You know what? I talked about Quarry is about acknowledging each other as well, and we can see NR here putting so much pressure, pushing them away. Entropiq loses one, and Starkey is in a very, very important position to hold an anchor point, not to give away any footsteps right now, and he can buy time, give a lot, so much info. But the off angle is not by NR, and now the support is coming in on that southern side, and Starkey continues to stay here, not scared to move around though. That is him trying to show where he is, but the support is coming in from the side, and that will be the reinforcement coming in. Sans will get the kill, and that is them taking another one. Starkey making it work. The info, the comms are really sweet from them. Although they lost one early, they would take 2, and the revenge is sweet. And now is a 3v2 situation across the north and south part of Quarry. I like this part of the map, to be fair. You just need to know how to play it. You need to know the drop spots, okay, in the tournament setting. Drop spots of your enemy, know where the playing path is, then you just need to delegate and change the plan, adapt, even if it's in the zone continuously. Let's say you get Quarry in phase 1 after phase 1 rotation. If you still get it after like phase after phase, you still need to adjust. You won't be watching at the same side. If you're just blindly doing that same thing, then yeah, need to know it better. Meanwhile, a great push and support from legend Conqueror UK. Take that win and will wipe out the squad of CrtlAltDelete it out of that game. But you know what? This is the interesting bit. Still, outside of the circle, xteam, the beast of a team, leading leaderboards right now, fighting outside of the circle, trying to get some more support, soft covers by the smoke, still needing to get out of the position against NECAT. Also close to that area is Pen most wanted, needing to find another spot in. But we talked about Quarry, how it can be so strong, and Night Targets is now in here, pushing away the squad of Entropiq. Let's see who knows this better, but the peak is too bold. Starkey gets knocked, hissed with the brilliant shot. Now we'll continue to put a lot of pressure from the other side of the warehouse. Another beautiful pinch, and this is Night Target showing us how to do it. The beautiful off angles after off angles. Entropiq choked this one, did not get punished for the first one, and here they have the Night Targets fresh, basically up pretty high up the leaderboard in PMCO Europe wildcard here to show them how it's done. and Most Wanted making shot stops right now on the outskirts of the northern part of that circle. Still need to get away in. Xteam is already in after fighting off a team on that northern part of the last phase. Seems pretty spicy in here. We have the trio of heroes needing to hold it down against the full team of Conqueror UK now pulling up into Therapia, and this is also Unicorns of not Unicorns of Love, excuse me. Come on, Andy. No, back for Mercy, but we have Andy here, so the rest of X Team actually getting trailed by Pen Most Wanted, and all of them couldn't find a spot in. X Team has they were one step forward into this power position on that northern edge, and trailing behind Pen Most Wanted didn't make it work, and need to have a plan B there, maybe rotating past that really strong spot, and the X Team continues to dominate. Back to Therapia we go. Hero has been playing this pretty strong. Look at 2 knocks onto Conqueror. They keep fighting off teams as a trio. So that makes me wonder, what will they be able to do when they get their 4th player in some of these scrims? But you know what? Might be at work, at school or something. And with those 2 knocks, they are just sending it in. Really decisive move there. And Gyro is now pinched in this one house. Wow. Clean 3v4 by heroes. It almost looked like they know whatever spot they take, they know how to play it. They know how to split, they know how to pinch. And that is just some really, really good traits from a team that we want to see in these scrims. And they can, if they can do that consistently, they can bring that all over to the next splits PMCO. Royal Knights from the UK scene, you know, no contest so far, all the way from military base through that bridge now into all these compounds more towards center zone, and they will make it to top 8. So just one more place, they would take 2 placement points, but that's not enough, right, guys? We always talk about the 1-to-1 ratio between the placement points and the kill points, and we see the side of Night Target needing to hold this one down. They know what they want to do as soon as they hold this spot, but the brilliant shot by December. Beast with the vehicle bait a little bit. December got a knock, but the return is there for Execution UK. 4 kills so far. Itachi there to support December. Maybe is that Gaga or Gage? I'm so sorry, but I need new eyes, new specs maybe. X Team slowly making shot stops in, and very close to them is Execution UK. But the relative high ground is there, and who knows what will happen? And this is going to be a hard one. Not Destiny. Come on, NGG. Okay, Beast the last one standing, relying on this hut. If people have a good kill feed awareness, they would know he's a solo, and I would just full send it, maybe at least put 2 in, or force him to peek a little bit. But you know what? Execution, no, Night Target is in position to punish all the teams coming into this coastline, so Beast will need to pray that the circle goes to them. And then of course Heroes getting circle blessed just about on that edge there. Like I said, for the 5th time today, need to know what it means for the next phase based on your position in this current phase. You're on edge, get prepared to start scouting. Get prepared to think about how you may need to rotate out of it. So that will be the make or break for a team in this situation. And I think this is just a really strong one for Night Target. They know that spot. That seems to be holding it really, really well. But need to know the absolute limits every side though. Knock onto Ticker. The damage has been done. NECAT with the last player holding comfortably on that south side, and Night Target Ooh, didn't use that spot well enough. A little bit of peek when they didn't need to, and are holding a spot to that eastern edge of Primos. Can maybe challenge that one, making some stop in, but I did talk about that time window to capitalize on knock. I think that might be a little bit slow. I mean, at least Ticker has been picked up, and then the other one slowly bleeding out. Hisk may not be as lucky as Ticker, but NR, if you want to take that one, NERA, make that a little bit earlier, I think. And but numbers problem might be the issue here, so they're down to 2. Maybe playing a bit more safe would be the nice call as well. Savi still continuously holding this spot with sightlines into the next zone, but also many sightlines on the back, and that is a brilliant knock onto Cable, but we just missed that angle to finish the other one as well. But I might have spoken too soon. NR is now sending it in. Wanju is here to just finish it. NR, the duo is not afraid to strike, taking that time window to finish those knocks. And look at last player of NECAT taking that time to rotate, and the pretty good go sign for them when they hear some fight in Primos, and he would take that time to rotate in, making to top 6, 4 points just from placement points there. Not too bad, eh? Like, if you get taken out pretty early, you can still get 4 points. If you got a squad wipe, you feel like, oh, it's not too bad, I've got a good fight, and that was not too bad of a game. But we also see NECAT taking 4 points from there as well, the solo play. Hero, 7 kills so far. The trio has outperformed many of the full squads this afternoon, and they will still be in here. They made it out of that compound. They came in here when Night Target was too focused on the other side, or when they pressured on the other side. So, like I said, not tier 1 yet if you know what is strong, but how to claim it. The strong and weak side of that spot, with relation, or in relation to the circle, in relation to the previous phases, and of course the methodology to claim these spots, shot stops, scouting, and the timing, right, to grab all of that, all of those strong spots. And last game today, and thank you so much for joining me so far. And we are down to 16 players and 6 teams, including some solos as well. Xteam, the entry spot established by Beg for Mercy down the road, with the rest of them more on that northern edge. Not easy to get out of that position, but that will rely on the side of Execution UK, as well as Night Target, to punish them for that. But once in a lifetime shift, maybe? No, that's over exaggeration. Okay, but Xteam actually got the circle, the 3 of them up north, and Beg for Mercy now is not on scouting duty no more. He is in spoiler and gatekeeping duty. Look at Hero here trying to find some shots in. Beg for Mercy needs to be in position to punish this if the trio of Hero peaks too far, and they'll continue to just tap their way in with that DT-47. Such a strong gun. Like, okay, think about it. If you want to play comp, then you know right now the meta is so much about Erangel. Half of the games we'll play is on Erangel. Don't play Vikendi in Classics unless you're just really trying to chill. If you're trying to train, then play that. Okay, play Erangel, and you get heavily rewarded for every bit of map knowledge that you get to pick up and improve on. And we see all these teams needing to rotate in, and the duo need to come in, but is already set up in this compound, getting zone blessed is Executionist UK, but Bilal will get punished, and that is the split. Actually not holding tight enough. Maybe Insania missed a little bit of window to stop the crosses. Wanju needs to zigzag his way through. Haven't got a spot in yet, and X-Team increase their split. Endy just to go close to this compound to track movements by Executioner's Hero will take out one and will get this compound, no, a shack I should say, to try to get multiple angles from this side. X-Team's split, the so-called zone bless, would never be justified enough if we don't think about the landscape, the sight lines, the ridges, all that stuff, and Andy would just get finished from that position. Down to 4 teams now. Look at NECAT. Look at NECAT with his position. The last player. Top 8 points right now. So that's 10 points with the 2 kills and still finding some angles. Yeah, angles onto execution. This is a position with a good DP spray, 4v4. So continuing with that point with practicing on Erangel. You want to be competitive player. Train Erangel and train using the DP is so strong. You don't even need attachments. Put a good scope in. Very, very deadly. Practice your burst mode. Not really single tap, like the 3-round burst, 5-round burst. Really, really important. Of course, sprays are important too. And we are going to see how important it is as well. The role of the PUBG gods into dictating the pace of the game. Hero getting a position in the zone. And now we also have Deadly almost in with his teammate also in, but of course this last player from NECAT was under multiple pressure. Insania finally taking out the sneaky rat, and we will have 3 teams remaining. Execution has lost one. I believe the trio needs to go through even further. Deadly setting up the smokes. He's got 20-ish meters to go, so just setting up the soft cover for his next spot, and he will just slowly run. Maybe he didn't have all the beds, so just need to rely on that smoke and pray. Hero needs to make sure they control the multiple sites, though Nightmare will soon be pushed by the team of execution, I believe. Splitting their bets, Shotzi going on foot, Melis going south, we have Insania going north. You know what? Can't complain. I think with a good read of this circle, you can pull off something like this, and that is a beautiful one. But the more beautiful is the nade by Heroes onto Malice. Single-handedly, one nade to take out one side of pressure, and they now will be looking up the hill at Insania, like how they have punished the side of xteam. And Nightmare is there to do more work as well. The trio have split their bets and will basically die because of that. Not so soon though. Insania can maybe take a good knock, but he's got no first aid, no more, and that is him going down to the play zone, and that is xteam with more points in their pocket. Some spot wipes, some kills found along the way, some zone control, splitting their bets, 2nd place with 7 kills. And that is him done. Maybe, unless I spoke too soon, who knows? xteam with their advantage, but his position is known. One's knock is very, very good, but Nate will come through soon. No, I spoke too soon. What the hell, man? Nightmare with the double knock. The Nate didn't come through, and with the Uzi in hand, he may be able to take this one, but he actually did it. What the hell, man? xteam with the crazy frag, with the position known, with him pinched behind the tree, and the vehicles. Hero made it work for so long until they choked for the last one. What can I say? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. xteam. You know what? Like, it's already good if they take a 2nd place, and 7 kills. Make it 10 kills and another win. I was trying to not swear right there, That is the type of scenario where we can't... I'm speechless, but you know what? Heroes, sometimes it's worse to be so close and you've lost it. So, with these other kids in this community and scene, sometimes they argue harder when they didn't pull off a win that should be in their pocket, and they might argue a bit less when they go out slightly earlier, if you get what I mean. I think you guys do. And but still, okay, xteam dominating day 1 of this PMCO EU Europe Scrim. And but also from that, slipped my mind again. Heroes, the trio, the team of trio. Probably a very, very solid day so far, with a good chance to make it up to the top 5, and that would be a really, really good start for this day 1 for them, and they'll get to meet other teams as well as we bring ourselves back to maybe watch a little bit of highlights, and we can see how W40, let's not forget that they've had such a brilliant game one and they're here, but having some crash and clash early may be the reason why they couldn't go further. And we also of course got xteam started off with some good fights on the north end and clashing with a team like Penmos wanted a clean swipe in that mid game. We'll also see Night Target with the potential to go in further but didn't make it work. And we also see of course the Son of Hero taking 7 kills and second place, and some solo plays from many of these players through this scrim as they show us how important it is to stay calm and collected. Although you might not be there, have the numbers advantage. Let's have this recap and enjoy this one more time. Nightmare with a beautiful 1v3 to take that chicken dinner for them. And I don't know what to say, guys. Just absolutely mental day from the X team, and averaging more than 20 points per game. That is some really solid work by this team, and the hype is real. The hype from all those recent tournaments and PMPL, PMCO scrims are real. X team is strong, but you know what? This is just the start. A lot of these teams are still trying to find the best roster, finding the best way to train, the best drop, and therefore to increase the chance to winning a lot of these scrims and eventually those tournaments. So very strong game 4 by them, and some stats coming through. Don't mind us, StarLadder, well done. We didn't even get it in PMCO. What you see is what I see. You know, people ask, did you have the map stream? Answer is no. Do you have the stats? The answer is no. Do we have the stats right now? The answer is yes. And we will have these kill leaderboard for this game 4. Back for Mercy leading with 4 kills. Nightmare with the 1v3 towards the end, bring him up to 4 kills. Hiroshino Heroes will take some good kills this game, Shino with 5. And let's not forget about NGG fragging quite hard in this scrim as well. Itachi leading his team in this game 4 with 3. Then we also see a few more 3 kills from these players, and we will have some other stats as well. Don't mind us. Heroes with some good damage. The 3 players put up almost 2,000 damage, and we also have the solo from NECAT putting in 600 damage in there. And we also see X team, of course, a good amount of kills, but you know, that means they're just clean. Like the amount, every bit of damage they put out are timed, or they was able to finish them quick. And so that is something that we can get to see by analyzing the stats. And so yeah, pretty sweet match and a pretty sweet stats. Thank you, StarLadder. And this is the people that you need to thank, right, viewers? The work that get put in behind the scene. And then we will have this final standing of the day. Look at how things can change, right? But one thing that didn't change for sure is X team holding that first place. More than double the amount of points compared to the second place. NGG with the second place, 42 points, 37 by Execution UK. Actually made it through like that game with some good points. New Cycle with at the 4th position with 31 points to 28 points. 1 point separation between the 5th and 8th place for this scrim this afternoon. So a lot of things for these teams to work on. This is the time to already start putting things in that Excel sheet in your notebook to say, they drop there, but we drop here. Maybe we can now drop in this other spot, and then we can take some more kill. And I'm just going to let this run for a little bit with some highlights, and we can still all enjoy these bits. But I think that would be me signing off, and play some music, allow you guys to enjoy a bit more of these highlights, and then the stream will end. So enjoy it while you can still see it. But you know what, if you didn't have enough, come back tomorrow. We've got 2 rounds of scrims tomorrow for PMCO Euro official scrims, and we will see you guys tomorrow. It will still be me, same time tomorrow, 1600 CEST, or if you're in the UK, 3 p.m, and we will have that all the way to 22 1900 CEST or 9 p.m. UK. This is your caster for today. My name is Professor Tarzan, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a brilliant day, have a brilliant night, stay safe, and stay fresh.